is advised.
Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do? When Sheriff John Brown come for you, I just wanna go home. Okay. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, whoa, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Cops is
One in the car with the siren and then like one. Or you can just put
Why are you late?
Yes, ma'am. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Do you know why I pulled you over?
No, I don't. Can you inform me?
Are you aware that you were going 60 and a 30?
No. I thought it was a 50.
It was posted back there. It's a 30-mile-per-hour zone.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. Yeah, that's a problem.
Can I have you step out of the car, please, ma'am?
Yeah.
Can I have all members of the car step out? All right. Can I have you stand like this, please, ma'am? All right. I'm gonna be searching. Do I register your car today?
Yeah, I have nothing to hide in there.
Smells like you do.
That's just my lunch.
You want to explain to me the contents of this bag?
That's just some oregano I had.
Appears to be some illegal paraphernalia. Alright, you're under arrest. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, we will appoint one to you. Do you understand the rights as they have been spoken to you?
Yeah.
The trial of Macy Johnson was picked up 2 weeks ago on the multiple counts of possession of illegal drugs with the intent to distribute is now in session. How does the defendant plead?
The defendant pleads not guilty, Your Honor.
Does the defense wish to call any witness to the stand?
The defense wishes to call Miss Johnson to the stand. Miss Johnson, were you aware of the presence of illegal drugs inside the car the time you were driving?
No, I wasn't. It wasn't my car.
Whose car was it?
It was Maddie's car.
And why were you driving Maddie's car?
She was too tired to drive home.
Are you aware that it's a crime to be in possession of illegal substances?
Yes.
So you weren't aware of the presence of illegal substances when you agreed to drive Maddie's car that day?
No.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Does the prosecution wish to cross-examine the witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Johnson, are you aware that it's illegal to lie under oath while you're on the stand?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you again. Is the vehicle that you were driving yours?
No.
So if I subpoenaed your mother to come in here and testify, she would tell me that that car did not belong to you.
Right.
And you're still aware that it's illegal to lie on the stand?
Yep.
Okay. Is there anyone who can corroborate your story of what happened that night?
Well, I can, seeing as I know what car I drive.
All right, no further questions.
Ms. Johnson, you may return to your seat now. Does the defense wish to call any other witnesses to the stand?
The defense wishes to call Madison Gallegos to the stand. Miss Gallegos, were you the owner of the car Macy Johnson was driving the day the illegal substances was found?
No, it belongs to Macy.
Can anyone else prove that the car belonged to Macy, since he said it was your car?
Oh, you can look at the insurance. It's not under my name.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Does the prosecution wish to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Gallegos, were you aware of the presence of illegal drugs in the car?
Yeah, I was.
Why didn't you say anything?
I didn't want to say anything because it wasn't mine.
Are you aware that it's illegal to be in possession of illegal substances?
No.
All right.
Do you believe that this is a case of ignorance, and if so, can you tell me what you had in your hand at the time of the arrest?
I plead the fifth.
The witness has pleaded the fifth. No further questions. Ms. Gallegos, you may return to your seat now. Does the defense wish to call any other witnesses to the stand?
No, Your Honor.
Does the prosecution wish to call any witnesses to the stand?
Prosecution wishes to call Sydney Hahn to the stand.
Ms. Hahn, can you tell me who the owner of the vehicle was?
I'm not sure.
Were you aware of the presence of illegal drugs in the vehicle?
No, I wasn't.
Was Ms. Johnson or anyone else under the influence of drugs at the time of the arrest?
Not to my knowledge. No.
What were you doing in the car with the girls?
I was just hanging out. We were heading to Macy's house afterwards.
What were your plans for the evening?
We were planning on just hanging out as we were friends.
Whose car was parked outside the house when you got there?
What do you mean?
Where would she have parked the car when she got there?
Outside of Macy's house.
Was there a garage door opener in the car that you know of?
I'm not sure. I didn't look. I didn't think to look.
Okay. So Ms. Gallegos testified that she could see from the back seat that there were illegal substances in the front seat. You were in the front seat, is that correct?
Yes.
So are you sure that you didn't see anything while you were in there?
No, I'm sure I didn't see anything.
All right, no questions.
Does the defense wish to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor. You claim to not know who the car belonged to, correct?
Correct.
May I ask why you entered the car then, if you did not know? Just
Well, I'm not sure if it was Maddie or Macy's car, but I was just hanging out with them.
And you were not aware of the illegal substance?
No, I wasn't. I didn't see anything.
Do you know if anybody in the car alongside you was under the influence of illegal substance?
I don't believe so.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Does the prosecution wish to call any other witnesses to the stand?
No.
I will now give the jury time to deliberate. How does the jury find the defendant?
The jury finds the defendant guilty of all charges.
I sentence the defendant to 4 years in jail and a fine of $350,000.
Breaking news. Defendant in recent drug arrest appeals for a retrial on the basis of violation of 4th and 8th Amendment rights.
1 week ago, Macy Johnson was charged with multiple counts of drug possession with the intent to distribute and was sentenced to 4 years in jail with a fine of $350,000. Now, she is appealing to have her case heard by higher courts on the grounds of violations of her 4th and 8th Amendment rights, as well as several important details that were overlooked during the trial.
How did they violate her amendment right, and what actions were taken during the trial that could possibly lead to a retrial?
Well, for starters, the right to know what you were being tried for. Ms. Johnson was told at the time of her arrest that she was being charged with possession of illegal paraphernalia, not drug possession. One is a charge for having things such as meth pipes, and the other is for the drugs themselves. And on top of that, they did not ask to see any identification from her or anyone else in the car.
That's right. Now, I also heard that the arresting officer did not testify during the court hearing.
That's correct, although she did submit a statement recounting her finding and the reason she chose to arrest Ms. Johnson.
And it's my understanding that's another thing that has come over fire the last few days was whether or not her seizure of the car was legal.
Well, Ms. Johnson gave her permission, so in this case it was legal.
If it was Miss Johnson's car, was the issue behind that ever solved?
No, not to my knowledge.
So that covers the 4th Amendment right. What about the 8th?
The 8th Amendment right that we are concerned about is the right protecting people against excessive fines. Ms. Johnson was charged $350,000 for the charges laid against her, which is extremely high for a possessions charge.
All right, if they were to be successful in getting their case heard by higher court, what would be their goal?
Well, I'll have our trial analysis consultant tell you more about that. Take it away, Savannah.
Thanks, Mallory. Today we are going to be examining what would happen if this trial were to be reheard. First of all, let's talk about the likelihood that it will be reheard, which in this case is very likely because of the excessive fines and because the defendant wasn't asked for identification and wasn't told correctly what she was being charged with.
And if this case was reheard, what would be their goal?
To have the fine waived and Ms. Johnson's sentence reduced. They would also be running insurance on the vehicle to prove whether or not it was Ms. Johnson's car, as this was not done during the original trial, and they would require the arresting officer to be there to testify in court. They have a lot of things going for them, but they also have a lot of things going against them. She gave permission for the search of the car, so search and seizure was legal. She was given a speedy trial, her Miranda rights were read, and she was provided counsel by the state, meaning that her right to due process has been seemingly met.
In this trial, was there any evidence of a biased jury?
At this time, we have no reason to believe that anyone on the jury was biased in any way.
All right, thank you. More news after the break.